All right, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother Wild Rum. You're back with another lesson, Lord, willing to be edifying. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Waha, Rakak Kodash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, of great millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord. You see on the highways and byways prophesying in the name and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Also in the correct doctrine. We send a shalom to the 1/3 men, women, and children that will escape the judgments of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah by their faith. As you see, a powerful explosion hits Russia's 11 billion Amar gas chemical complex. Over 130 workers were injured and 5 of them were killed. Now, it's another big event happening where the U.S. has sent the CIA, the head of the CIA, over to Russia. But let me play these videos just to show you that things are heating up. And it doesn't have any, any sound to it. I'm assuming whoever did it probably cut the sound because of the explosion that happened over there. But you see how the employees were running from the explosion, man. And it's another video just pretty much showing you that it was major. Now, this is a gas complex, and Russia is one of the main suppliers of oil to the entire world, man. Now, this military plane was landed in Moscow. It says U.S. military transport plane arrives in Moscow in rare occurrence. So it was a rare occurrence, rare occurrence that you would see an enemy plane land on enemy territory, man, if it was not pretty much scheduled. Now, this is just to show you that it did land it over there in Moscow. It had an emergency meeting. This is pretty much going viral today. So, over in Russia, social media is pretty much putting these videos online because they was pretty much shocked to see it. This is the motorcade that had the head of the CIA, transported from the airport to the Kremlin.
Американцы прилетели на переговоры.
And like I said, this went viral, man. Everybody was pretty much shocked to see the American airplane land in Russia. As you see, initial unconfirmed reports are that Putin was furious with the CIA director's threat, telling Russia to reduce tensions in Ukraine. Putin ordered him to leave Russia immediately and ordered the U.S. embassy closed permanently. Things are moving fast. Now, you see that this is prophecy. This is biblical prophecy, man. The scripture tell you in was it Ezekiel 38, the Lord will put hooks in the jaws of the Russians. Now you're seeing that they're pretty much moving forward with war. They are not trying to get any sanction relief or any money. They're moving forward with war. Now that picture was an omen that you see Vladimir Putin seeing red or shown as red. So this is the spirit that the earth is in, man. War. Now check this out.
The U.S. flag has just been removed from outside the U.S. Embassy inside of Moscow. And for full context, even during the war, the American flag has been flying. But today, John Radcliffe, the U.S. CIA director, flew to Moscow, was inside for less than 8 hours. He was expected to be there through Thursday, left early and is now on his way to the United States. Now, Russian media is saying that for the first time, especially during this entire war, the United States decided to withdraw their flag from their own embassy. which in of itself is very odd because if the United States did it now, what changed? What happened in that conversation between John Radcliffe and Putin? It was pure speculation that things went bad after Radcliffe left Russia way earlier than anticipated. But to see the American flag come down from an embassy which is still operating, granted at a very low staff, does point to things are a lot worse than we thought.
Yeah, so it's threats behind the scenes that we don't know about. But you see that he left early. It was supposed to be scheduled. I've seen where it's supposed to be scheduled for 8 hours, and he was only there for 4, and he left pretty much right after. And then the American flag was took down from the embassy in Moscow, which is Russia, the capital. Now, after that, this was interesting as well. It says 5 Doomsday aircraft airborne. What's going on with Russia and NATO? So we see that we know the tensions are at a high point, but they're higher than we can say. You know what I'm saying? Because why would they put in 5 Doomsday planes, man? They only put Doomsday planes in the air for the elite of like the president and the staffs of these congressmen if it was a nuclear war or nuclear threat. Now, see that this goes to show you that what the scriptures forewarned about destruction of Babylon the Great, we're seeing it being put in place, man. Now check this out.
We just had 5 of America's doomsday aircraft in the air at the same time. These control our nuclear forces, and it comes on the same day that the CIA director made an unscheduled visit to Moscow, very quick, in and out, allegedly to warn them to not provoke NATO. I'm going to give you the circumstantial evidence that seems to indicate there may be a potential Russian threat in the offing. Let's start first with the most recent event, that being these aircraft today on an unscheduled, somewhat unusual exercise. So these 5 airplanes that were in the air today, and there's 16 we have total, are the Boeing E-6B Mercury. These have 2 missions, all right? First, take charge of move out, or TACAMO, which is to tell our ballistic missile submarines, which have ICBMs with strategic nuclear warheads on board, to fire at a target. The second one is known as Looking Glass, and that is basically our ICBMs that are in the ground. So that's 2 legs of our nuclear triad, which is sea, land, and air. Now, this is important signaling because we only have 16, and that means the Russians would see it, and it was also obviously publicly available on Flight Tracker. And staying in the air, we also had for 3 days straight very unusual NATO air activity near Kaliningrad, which is a tiny sliver of Russian land by Eastern Europe. I mean, you had AWACS, you had fighter jets. It looked like something you would have if there was an actual small-scale, issue to break out with Russia. And what is most interesting is it also included the E-37 Compass Call electronic warfare aircraft. We only have a handful of these, and they're intended to basically shut down enemy communications and just wreak havoc on their entire battlefield communication and management. So to have that happen, people really notice that. Also strange, another piece of evidence. Of course, over the past few months, we've had a huge increase in Russian aggressive activity towards NATO. I mean, if you talk about Romania, they've had 24 unauthorized drone penetrations in 2026 alone, 43 fighter scrambles, and 4 drones shot down. We had the drone shot down in Latvia recently. We've had this attempted terrorist attack where they literally flew explosive drones into multiple airplanes at Leipzig Airport in Germany, which is a civilian airport. That is a literal terrorist attack. It's how you would qualify it. You had a cruise missile blow up in Poland, on and on. A lot of stuff taking place, and we're seeing this huge increase, indicating that Russia is pushing, and testing before it does something really insane. And on that score, we know that U.S. intelligence just warned our NATO allies that Russia was going to try and test their resolve, whether it's through a limited ground incursion or some other kind of attack. And this mosaic, when you put it all together, indicates to me, now this is just a hypothesis, but it's based upon circumstantial evidence, history, and other facts, that Russia is up to something. That's what they got warned against today. And hey, if they try it, I hope they get absolutely stomped by NATO because of what they've been doing in Ukraine. They are the face of evil in the modern world. We'll see what happens. They're really pretty much desperate against the ropes with respect to Ukraine. Well, we'll see how it goes. Rock on, NATO.
So these Edomites are through, man. They think that NATO is going to be able to stop the Russians. Now, the Russians ain't been in war as much as America or China, and they are prepared to fight. What you call it, not the systematic, but the damn, slipped my mind. they're prepared to fight the damn. Slip my mind, man. Um, damn. Wow, that's the damn. It slipped my mind. Maybe it come back to me. But the point is, the Russians are gearing up. They've been gearing up to fight NATO for many years since they tried to pretty much take over the USSR nations, which they have pretty much all of them, including Ukraine. They've been preparing for war, just like Iran been preparing for war against America for over 47 years. Now the Russians, they have Russia. Russians have the Chinese, North Koreans, they have Iran, and they're also going to have the Ezekiel 38 nations, which I went to did a lesson on that a couple of weeks ago. Well, now it was last week. Did a lesson on the Ezekiel 38 nations that will be with Russia. And see, these Edomites think that the NATO is going to be able to combat the nations that are going to be with Russia, which NATO is at its weakest has ever been. It's at its weakest point, man. And see, Russia has supersonic missiles, man, which America, I think they just now tested one, after all the ones that failed, I think they have one that they have that's able to pretty much work or whatever. But Russia has hypersonic missiles, man, along with China, Russia, and they have the Poseidon, they have the Satan II, and these are missiles. I don't know nothing about the Army, but these are missiles that's been made known to the public that they have. And the Poseidon missile is also a thermonuclear missile, man. So these nations are preparing for nuclear war. And see, these nations, which the NATO nations, they're thinking they're going to go and attack Russia, and it's not going to be a thermonuclear war, man. That's what they're thinking. But this is all biblical prophecy, man. This will be a nuclear war, man.
Seriously, should we take these warnings?
I think pretty seriously. Russia has been niggling away. There have been things like the cyber attack on Jaguar Land Rover, which cost an awful lot of money. And now at last they have been clear for once that this was Russia inspired, albeit at one remove. But it's that kind of thing. But what is worrying is what it looks like an assassination campaign, attempts to assassinate heads of defense industry. There have been three major figures across Europe who've been targeted in that way in the past 2 years. The head of Germany's Rheinmetall. There has been now suspicious activity around the holiday compound of the head of Saab. Saab makes the Gripen aircraft and is very closely integrated with British systems. And there's a head of a startup in Germany who has been told just to hide for the time being, just go completely off the radar. And of course, Russia has formed with this. We go back to Alexander Litvinenko, 2006, and the attack on the Skripals, the Novichok attack in 2018.
And see, these threats that, we don't know, the regular public don't know about these threats and what happened, assassination attempts. We don't know about that. And this is what you see that he's bringing up, that have happened. And, they told one of the guys, just go and hide. So, I mean, this is getting to the boiling point, man, where they're not going to be able to hold off this world anymore, which we know the mark of the beast has to come before thermonuclear missiles hit America. And the destruction of America it happens. We know the mark of the beast. So that has to be very close, man, because of this $40 trillion deficit that America has, that debt. They can't sustain it any longer, man. So we seeing everything being put in place, man. This is to show you that the scriptures are 100% true, man. This Bible is rival to no other book. And this goes to show you that we are the prophets of the Lord, man. This is Isaiah 13 and verse 17. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes, which are the Russians, against them which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. So the Medes, which is the modern day Russians, they're not going to regard any money, man. Any sanctions, any sanction relief, they're not going to regard that. NLT, it says, look, I will stir up the Medes against Babylon. It's plain, man. America is Babylon. The Medes are the modern day Russians, man. They could not be tempted by silver or bribed with gold, man. So they're not going to care about money. Which this nation thrives on having money. You got to have this. You got to have that. Those nations over in the Middle East and over in the East, they don't care about money. That's why the sanctions don't bother them as much as they would to America, man. Verse 18, it says, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces. See, their missiles are going to dash the young men into pieces. It says, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. So they're not going to care if you have kids or little children. They're going to shoot their missiles over here, man. It says, their eyes shall not spare children. That's plain, man. NLT, it says, the attacking armies will shoot down the young men with arrows. They will have no mercy on helpless babies and will show no compassion for children. So when they shoot those missiles, man, they're not going to care what get destroyed in Babylon the Great, man. That's not going to be their agenda to help to not harm children and kids and old elderly. That's not going to matter to them. See, another thing that happened that was real that's really going, that's going to change their way of thinking is way. America shot and killed 170 kids in Iran by attacking a school. So this is not gonna put a bad taste in their mouth because they did it, and this is the spirit the Lord is gonna put on those Medes, man. Verse 19, it says, Babylon, the glory of kingdoms. See, this is the places, the glory of kingdoms, and the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when power overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. What happened to Sodom and Gomorrah, man? Lord rained fire down from heaven, and it hasn't been inhabited since then. It says, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. So when the Lord had fire rain down from heaven on Sodom and Gomorrah, the same thing is going to happen to America, man. The Lord is going to rain down fire from heaven, which is those thermonuclear missiles. And this place is not going to be inhabited, man, from generation to generation, man, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. So the Lord is telling you this place is going to be destroyed just like Sodom and Gomorrah. It says, neither shall Arabian pitch tent there. So you're not going to have these Arabians come and, have gas stations and hotels. That's not going to happen anymore, man, because this place is never going to be inhabited again. It says, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, but wild beasts and deserts shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and the owls shall dwell there, and the satyrs shall dance there. So when this place is destroyed, nothing is going to be here but animals, man. Wild creatures, man, desert animals. It says, and the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come. See, the destruction of Babylon the Great, man, is near to come. And her days shall not be prolonged. So the Lord is not going to prolong the days of Babylon the Great. This place is set for a time for destruction, and it's going to happen in our lifetime, man. The Lord is not going to put this destruction off any longer, man. You can tell that things are moving faster than we possibly know, man. And see, we don't know how that interview went. Not interview went, but the meeting went. But we see that the Lord he's making good on his word, man, because we're seeing everything is being stirred up, man. This is Isaiah 21, verse 2. It says, I see a terrifying vision. I see the betrayer betraying, the destroyer destroying. Go ahead, you Elamites and Medes, and which we know is the Elamites are the Persians, man, the Iranians, the Medes, the Russians. He says, go ahead, you Elamites and Medes, attack and lay siege. I will make an end to all the groaning Babylon calls, man. So the Lord is going to make an end to all the wickedness that Babylon the Great calls, man. And I'm going to read a little bit more. It says, my stomach aches and burns with pain. Sharp pains of anguish are upon me, like those of a woman in labor. So the destruction is coming, man. Just like a woman in labor, you know what I'm saying? At that time, the scripture, it's another scripture that goes right hand in hand. When a woman goes into birth pains, the time speeds up, man. When you get those the contractions speed up when the baby's about to come, man. It says, I grow faint when I hear what power is planning. Whew. I am too afraid to look. See what the Lord is planning, man. Whew, man, the destruction is going to be devastating, man. He says, my mind reels and my heart races. I long for evening to come, but now I am terrified of the dark. So he was comparing it to a dream, man. He said you can't, the days pass, but he hate the dark now, man. He hate to go to sleep because you see them dreams, man, no visions. He just said. So this is destruction is in this modern day time, and it's going to be way worse than what we can even explain. It's going to be. It says, look, they are preparing a great feast. They are spreading rugs for people to sit on. Everyone is eating and drinking, and that goes to show you that the Lord said this destruction will come when everybody's not paying attention, man. Especially over here in America, they just going about their business, man, working and eating and having fun, getting married. Scripture tell you in Matthew 24 what was going to happen. It says, but quick, grab your shield and prepare for battle. You are being attacked. And these people don't know they're being attacked, man. They believe what Donald Trump says, and it will never come to America. The Russians will never send missiles over here. And that's why Vladimir Zelensky said that the ocean is protecting you, but soon it won't protect you, man. And he told that to Donald Trump's face, man. Soon that sea won't protect you. It says, put a watchman on the city wall. Let him shout out what he sees. Let me drop down to verse 10. It says, O my people, thresh and wallow. I have told you everything Yahweh Shem Yahushua of heaven armies has said. Everything the power of Israel has told me. Now check this out. This message came to me concerning Edom. Someone from Edom keeps calling to me, watchman, how much longer until the morning? Until that vision is when will the night be over? When will the destruction be over? And this is what's coming to Edom, man, which is Babylon the Great, man. This is the land of the Edomites. It says the watchman replies, morning is coming, but night will soon return. If you wish to ask again, then come back and ask. So the destruction is coming, man. And see, it's coming for Esau, Edom, man, in his nation, but 2/3 of our people are going to get caught up in it, into the destruction because of they didn't want to repent to the Lord, man. This is Jeremiah 50, and I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, the word that Yahweh Shem Yahushua spake against Babylon, against the land of the Chaldees, by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations and publish, and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. See, tell them everything. Don't hold nothing back. Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded. And I show you where they put up a statue of Baal. I think it was in Massachusetts. Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. It says, for out of the north, which is the Russians and Chinese, the nations that's coming with them, for out of the north there come up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate. See, those northern nations are going to make this place desolate, man, not inhabited. It says, and none shall dwell therein. See, they shall depart, both man and beast. So when the destruction comes, this place is going to be empty, man. Nothing is going to remain here. Dropping down to verse 22, which Jeremiah 50 is fire, the whole chapter, man. This is dropping down to verse 50 and 22. It says, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. And see, we're in the land of great destruction, man. That's why we prophesying that what's coming, man. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? And he's speaking before it happens, man. And this is the hammer of the whole earth, man. America uses his military might to go through the nations and destroy them, man, and put them up under him. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee. See, a trap was laid for Babylon the Great, man. And you see that the Iranians stood up to him, man. And that's why they're not going back into attacking them the way they was, man. That was a trap, man. The Lord got Babylon the Great put in, man. That's why they call it a quagmire, where it's basically a stalemate, because no one is pretty much won, but Iran is claiming the victory over, Babylon the Great, man, because they've stood up to the world superpower, the hammer of the earth, man. It says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. So this is the Lord doing this, man, because everything they've done was against the Lord, man. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua hath opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. And those missiles are the Lord's indignation, man. Those are his weapons. The angels are going to control those missiles when they're shot off to go exactly where the Lord wants those missiles to hit. The Lord has opened his armory. He hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation, for this is the work of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, destroy her utterly. See, we know this place is going to be destroyed utterly. This is what the Lord is telling you, man, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. This place is going to be destroyed utterly. It says, let none of her be left. From California to New York, 5,500 or 5,000 square feet? I think it's 5,500 square feet from New York to California. I know it's 5,000 square feet. This place is going to be a desert, man. From one end to the other end, man. The Lord said he's going to destroy this place like he did the Sodom and Gomorrah, man, the 5 neighboring cities. Let me get it in NLT, man. It says, yes, come against her from the distant lands. And Russia is a distant land, man. It says, break open her what's this? Let's make sure I pronounce it correctly.
Granaries.
Granaries. Let me look it up in the NLT real. No, the storehouse or thresh grain, a region producing large quantities of corn. It says, crush her walls and houses into heaps of rubble. Destroy her completely and leave nothing, man. Woo. Verse 27, it says, King James, it says, slay all her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. The voice of them that fleeth and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, our power, the vengeance of his temple, man. And that's what we're declaring, man. NLT, it says, listen to the people who have escaped from Babylon. And that's the men of the Lord, man. The hopeful elect. Listen to the people who have escaped from Babylon as they tell in Jerusalem, his people, how Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua power has taken vengeance against those who destroy his temple. And that's Esau Edom, man. And this is what we declaring to you, man. The Lord is finna take vengeance on Babylon the Great, man. And he's going to destroy it from California to New York, man. The entire map of Babylon the Great, which is America, is going to be wasted, man. Going to be wiped off the planet, man. This is Jeremiah 51 and verse 8. It says, Babylon is suddenly falling and destroyed. So he's speaking before it happens, man. And that's what prophecy is. What a prophet does. He says it's going to happen before it happens, man. And this is what prophecy is. It's spoken before it happens. Babylon is suddenly falling and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies, man. See, the Lord knows what all the wickedness is done in Babylon the Great, man. And you can just list 1,000, well, millions of things that's wicked here, man. Verse 10, it says, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua have brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua power. And that's what the prophets are doing, man. Bringing this word out constantly for our people to understand what times we're in. It says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua have raised the spirit of the kings of the Medes. See, this is what we're telling you. The Medes are the Russians. The Lord has raised up their spirit, man, to go to war. There ain't no talking no more. Ain't no more making declarations of articles of peace deals and agreements. That's over with, man. That day is done. It says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua have raised up the spirits of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon. See, the Lord he is against Babylon the Great, man. To destroy it. Whew. Because it is the vengeance of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the vengeance of his temple, man. Man. NLT, it says, sharpen the arrows, lift up the shields. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has inspired the kings of the Medes to march against Babylon and destroy her. Oh, my goodness. You can't get any plainer than that, man. This is his vengeance against those who desecrated his temple, man, and his people, man. What they did to the children of Israel, man, the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, what America done to us, man. He says, set up a standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up a watchman, prepare an ambush, for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua have both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. See, the Lord is telling you it's going to happen, man. This is what he already planned for this place, man. Let me get it in NLT, man. It says, raise the battle flag against Babylon. So that's spiritual, man. Whew, the battle flag. It says, reinforce the guard and nations, and stations, the watchmen. Prepare an ambush, for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua will fulfill all his plans against Babylon. See, it's going to be fulfilled, man. This is the Lord's words, man. He's telling you straight out of the mouth of Jeremiah, man. O thou that dwellest upon many waters. See, America dwells on many waters, man. You got the Pacific, you got the Atlantic, you got the Gulf of Mexico. Shit, it's a lot of waters this place, man. So it's telling you without a shadow of a doubt, man. If you got ears to hear, this is talking about Babylon the Great, man. Let me look up how many waters on America, man. Let me see how many waters. Surround. America, let me see. So you look at all these bodies of water, man. You got Arctic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Caribbean Sea, Gulf of Mexico. That's five. That's five different waters, man. Not including the Gulf of California. Oh my goodness, man. Gulf of California, the Hudson Bay, Bering Sea, the Great Lakes. This is, man, he's describing America to the T. So if he would have came out and said that wrote America in the Bible, they would have destroyed this book, man. They would have destroyed the Bible, man. Let me finish it up right here. It says, raise a battle flag against Babylon. It said, no, I missed it. I jumped above it. Many waters. Hold on. 13 is it. It says, you are a city of great river. No, here you go. That's a lot of rivers here too, man. It says in NLT, many rivers, man. It says, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasure. See, America is the richest country in the world. Thy end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. See, the end of this place is come, man. And we're just telling you what's going to happen before it happened, man. Drop it down to verse 27. It says, set up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, all together against her, the kingdoms of Arak. Arak, it was the Turkish. That's Turkey. That's where the Ararat is the same nation where which is Turkey, that the Noah's Ark landed on. It's still there to this very day. Many, I think that's I want to say Armenia and Ashkenaz, and I think that's around these ancient lands, man. I think this is around Persia, Iran, and you can look it up, man. It says, appoint a captain against her, cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars, prepare her, the nations, with the kings of the Medes. And this is right here, it goes to show you that Ezekiel 38 is spot on, man. Because you got the Turks coming with them, many, Menin, and that's, like I said, Armenia. That's those nations right around Turkey that's allies with Turkey. And you got Ashkenaz, and I believe that's the Persians, man, Iran. And it says, prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes. See, these nations are going to come with the Medes, man, which is the Russians. It says, the captains thereof and all the rulers thereof and all the land of his dominion. See, all those nations, the allies, they're going to come against Babylon the Great, which is going to say it here. It says, and the land shall tremble and sorrow for every purpose that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua shall be performed against Babylon. See, everything the Lord said is going to happen to Babylon the Great, he keeps reiterating it. He keeps saying it over and over and over. So you won't say this is another nation. That's why we know for a fact that prophecy is going to be fulfilled, man, because the Lord continues to go over and over and over. He says it several times in the scriptures, man. He makes it plain for you to get it. This is going to happen, man. It says, to make the land of Babylon a desolation. We just read that in Jeremiah 49, just read it in Jeremiah 50, and this right here is Jeremiah 51. So you keep on telling Jeremiah, keep telling them, this place is going to be destroyed. Babylon going to be destroyed. Babylon will get destroyed, man. So why would he keep telling them, keep saying it, and he keep putting the Medes in it? Isaiah 13 to tell you the Medes. So the Lord continue to tell you it's the Medes going to do it, man. The Russians are going to do it, man. It says, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitant. See, the Lord continued to tell Jeremiah, tell them the Lord is going to destroy Babylon the Great, man. It's not going to be inhabited again, man. In the NLT, it says, the earth trembles and writes in pain for everything Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua has planned against Babylon. We just read that, man. Stands unchanged. See, everything he said he's going to plan against Babylon, it stands. It's not going to change. That's beautiful, man. He says, everything Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua has planned against Babylon stands unchanged. Babylon will be left desolate without a single inhabitant. It ain't going to be one person left here, man. He said without a single inhabitant. So the Lord is making it plain, man. This place is on the verge of destruction, and there's not going to be one single person left to tell about it. It's on the land. This is Jeremiah 49 and verse 17. It says, also Edom shall be a desolation. See, his determination is against Babylon, man. Who controls Babylon? The Edomites, man. Also, Edom, which I want to bring this out so you won't know, you'll know for a fact it's talking about Edom. His determination is against Edom, man, which is the rulers of Babylon. It says, also, Edom, let me slow down. It says, also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. Everyone that goes by Babylon, when the Lord brings the destruction, they're going to come by this place and they say, look what the Lord did to that place, man. My goodness. NLT, it says, Edom will be as... it says, Edom will be an object of horror. Woo! That's heavy, man. Edom will be an object of horror. All who pass by will applaud, will be appalled. It says, all who pass by will be appalled and will gasp at the destruction they see there. It will be like the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. My goodness, man. And their neighboring towns says Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, no one will live there, no one will inhabit it. So the destruction is going on this place is going to be devastating, man. I gotta watch that movie, the G.I. Joe, where they was in that room, they was in a room and they seen the destruction of London when the missiles came down on London, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna watch it on YouTube, man, because you can just see in that scene right there when they told the North Koreans not to push the button. And this is, like I said, they always put this in movies, man. And I'm gonna watch that part, man. Just the destruction of London in that scene, man, because it shows you the devastation that happened to that place, man. But it's gonna be way worse than that, man. That's just a movie. Just imagine when it happens in real life, man. I'm ending it right here. It's 18. It says, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, the neighboring cities thereof, said Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, no man shall abide there, neither shall the Son of Man dwell in it. So this place is going to be utterly wasted, man, with no inhabitants. I'm going to end it there. Lord, one is edifying. Shalom.